Southwest Colorado school districts and colleges hope to transcend boundaries to share teachers and resources to prepare more students to enter the local workforce after graduating from high school or college. You're watching the Local News Network, brought to you by Tafoya Barrett and Associates, serving Southwest Colorado. I'm Wendy Graham-Settle. For students in Dove Creek or Rico, even Bayfield or Ignacio, driving to Durango to attend a Fort Lewis College or Pueblo Community College science lab can be prohibitively expensive, both in time and money. But what if the lab were to come to them? That's the idea behind the new Southwest Colorado District Collaborative, which recently received a $3.6 million grant from the Colorado Response Innovation and Student Equity Fund, a program that Governor Jared Polis established this year to address education inequities that have been exposed during the pandemic. The collaborative includes all Southwest districts in Southwest Colorado, Fort Lewis College, and Pueblo Community College.
Our goal as a collaborative is really to leverage our neighboring districts with us to really keep up to date on technology, to update on programming. We're all trying to find the talent to teach in these unique areas. And so it's really important for us as neighboring districts to try to find a way to leverage our relationships to fill those necessary positions.
The collaborative, which recently formed into a 501c3 nonprofit, initially will use the grant to develop 2 regional career pathways to grow a workforce that can meet local demand. The first pathway will provide training in the construction trades under the leadership of Pueblo Community College. The collaborative envisions sharing teachers with specialties across districts and purchasing mobile learning labs that will allow districts to share expensive construction equipment across boundaries.
You know, we have specialties in each of our staff members. We have a teacher in Ignacio who's really talented in cabinetry. We have a teacher in Bayfield that has this specialty. And so really our kids deserve to really have access to all of that and really find a way to build that collaboration between schools and between those staff.
Fort Lewis College will lead the effort to form a regional career pathway for students interested in the environmental sciences. Fort Lewis College Provost Cheryl Nixon said the collaborative may include traveling college professors who provide in-district instruction for college-level science classes, summer programs, mentorships between college and high school students, and a mobile college lab to share among the districts.
Part of what we wanted to do was find an area that would lead to jobs, careers that would really benefit the Four Corners region. And, you know, we need a lot of forestry work, for example. We have a lot of scientific work that needs to be done in the area. You know, if you think of the fire or just our worry about water levels within the Four Corners. So there's a need for people who understand environmental science. But, you know, for students, they hear environmental science, you know, when they're in 9th grade, they might be like, oh, I'm not a scientist. What could I do in that, right? But they love the beautiful landscape. They might really get excited if someone actually said, oh, you know, you like to get out in nature on the weekends, you like to go for a hike, you like to, you know, play outdoors. Start to build that enthusiasm and that spark or that passion for the outdoors into, well, you could definitely take some classes where we bring you, you know, with someone from the Forest Service out into the forest, and you can learn how soil regenerates after a fire, right? And then a student who might, you know, is quite young, again, we're talking 9th, 10th grade, could start to say like, oh, this is something I could get excited about. I could see myself wanting a career in this area. Oh, and you know what? I should go to college to do this.
The collaborative isn't the first inter-district effort to share resources. In 1966, 14 school districts in the San Luis Valley formed the first Board of Cooperative Services in Colorado. The San Juan Board of Cooperative Services formed in 1973 to share educational resources and programs. But over the years, its mission shifted to focus mainly on special education services. In some ways, the new collaborative is reviving the original intent of the BOCES legislation to share expensive or hard-to-find educational programs and services. As a nonprofit, the collaborative hopes to generate support from regional businesses and industries, and from local, state, and national foundations. Rather than each district vying for limited funds or competing for hard-to-find instructional talent on their own, districts together can attract larger funding awards and reduce individual district costs by sharing instructors across district boundaries.
You know, we faced some pretty major funding challenges over the last few years, and we can't all afford to do it all on our own. And I think that's really the impetus to this collaborative approach is we can't afford to do everything, but together we can afford to do a lot more. And so working together to reach out to donors, to reach out to people who are passionate about making sure that kids have those skill sets will allow us as an entire community benefit from that work.
If you'd like to know more about the RISE grant and district collaborative, visit fortlewis.edu. Thanks for watching this edition of the Local News Network. Please be safe in the new year. I'm Wendy Graham Settle.